Have you discovered every conceivable reason not to go into work, not to finish the task, to disengage from work that you once found was a dream, only to realize that now it feels like the biggest burden of your life? You're successful, super successful woman in your corporate path or in creating your dream business, only it doesn't feel like a drain to you at all. And you're in a place of just wondering, is this all that there is? And if any of that resonates for you, then hi, I'm Jennifer Zenz-Olsen, founder and owner of Laughing Lotus Wellness, transformational purpose coach and expert. And what I do is work with women just like you, just like me, who have been in a place of trying to unravel the puzzle of how they got where they are because they know they've got purpose. They just somehow in the process got misaligned in it. And so in our work together, what I do is figure out with you, like, how did we get here? Where are we going? What do we need to do to make that happen? Right? And really reignite that fire and passion for you. Get you reconnected to purpose and success together and not just one. So I'm going to tell you what I know. So as a clinical social worker and psychotherapist of over 20 years, I talked a lot with people about teachers. And so today we're going to be talking about the gift of teachers. And I want to discuss the idea of pausing and honoring and celebrating your actual teachers in your life, your supporters. And understand that every single lesson we're given in this lifetime is a teacher. So even experiences are teachers, which I know sounds really funny, but you could even pause a minute and have some gratitude and honor the moments that were hard, right? My moment where I was in this pivotal place of having to decide if I was going to stay in my private practice or move on and do something different. And I created this business, and my business partner, we were worried the business was going down in flames. That's a whole other story. So I quickly developed Laughing Lotus Wellness. And he comes back and he goes, actually, it's going great, right? All of a sudden we're like finding we're doing great. We don't need to close the doors. We're great. And the instantaneous response inside my soul was a resounding, screaming no. But I stayed anyway. And that was a teachable moment. I didn't listen. In the very moment he said to me, and my very soul-based response was no, the answer should have been I'm leaving. Now, when I say should, I want to have some compassion here, right? Because we do what we know. And there's a whole story around why it took me so long to figure this out. But I want to share that story, right? My very own personal journey of like having an experience be a story and a teacher, okay? So I want you to really honor. So whoever you have in your life that's doing you a solid, get out there and make sure you're thanking them. Reflect upon the ways that people have held space for you. Maybe they're great listeners. Maybe they literally taught you something super powerful that you use every single day in your life or in your job. Somehow got you shifted off one track and onto another, whatever it might be for you. Taking a moment to really pause and honor that. And we want to take a moment to take stock. What have you learned in this last period of time? In this last window of your life, 3, 6, 9, 12 months, what did you learn? Okay. One of my very favorite stories, and I'm going to try to trip through it quickly because I don't want us to be here all day. You've got things to do. Was a lollipop TED Talk I listened to. And I am, forgive me for some reason, forgetting the phrase, but I know it was a lollipop conversation of some sort on TED Talk. If you look it up, you'll probably find it. It's a great story. And what happens in it is a young man on campus is part of some organization and handing out lollipops to the new people signing up for classes, right? Their job is to come out. Sounds really glorious. And what they're doing is they're greeting people. And he sees this young woman in line with her parents, and she's waiting to get her books and whatever all signed up for stuff, and she's starting to panic. And so what he doesn't know is before this, she had said to her parents, I gotta go. This is not for me. I can't do this. You ever been there on the cusp of a big dream or a big transition and you're like, I cannot do this. Anybody been there? Okay, we've all been there. She's having a minute. She's like, oh my God, right? In the meantime, this guy with his lollipop, his bucket of lollipops, walks up and he offers, and he's cracking jokes with her. And this guy behind her, and he goes, hey, you at least got to talk to this beautiful woman standing in front of you, right? You got to like say, hey, right? And the guy's sheepish and he's whatever, right? So anyway, in all of this experience, this guy with this lollipop walks away, does his jam, and finds out later from that young woman that that was a pivotal moment that encouraged her to stay at school, to not walk away. That young man behind her ends up that he is her boyfriend through college, and they're getting married. So in one fell swoop, that gentleman with his bucket of lollipops, right? And the neat thing in his TED Talk is he says, has anybody ever had a moment like this, a teacher? I'm going to call it a teacher. You call it whatever you want. Profound moment, a profound experience. And everybody raises their hands. I mean, like almost everybody in the room, right? Of course, oh yeah, I've had this incredible moment. And then he said, and how many of you told the person? And the room goes silent. And only a few people raise their hands. And his whole premise of telling this story was this woman coming back to him later and telling him the profound difference he made in her life in a 1-minute conversation on a college campus, not knowing each other from a hole in the wall. And I want you to think like this as well. It's not enough to just know we've been gifted something by a teacher. I have had so many freaking beautiful teachers in my life. And you know what that is, gifts of teachers? It brings us wisdom. So whether it's honoring an experience you've had, a story you've lived with, or an actual physical human being, I really want to encourage you to get right with that and say thank you, to reflect that to that person who is going to be forever changed because you reached out and said, you changed my life. That experience we had, it changed my life. And so I can't get more real about that. I can't. I'm just telling you right now. It's literally one of my favorite stories. A friend of mine passed it on to me. Go look it up, Lollipop TED Talk. And I swear to God, it'll pop up and listen to it. I swear. It's so good. And so I want you to understand that the gift of teachers is wisdom, right? And so taking a look at this, pausing to honor, take a look at what you've, right, what you've gleaned, take stock of the lessons you've received, what have you learned in the last little bit of time here, and make sure you're doling it out. Make sure you're giving that thanks, that reflection to somebody that needs to know how profoundly they've changed something in your journey, how they've added the bucket of wisdom you're carrying around right now. So if this was helpful, I want to invite you over to my website to grab my free gift on my homepage. Feel free to go on over. There's a PDF and there's a meditation for purpose. And I want to invite you to go on and grab that. And that's at laughinglotuswellness.com. So again, that's laughinglotuswellness.com. Right on my homepage, go get that free gift. You deserve it. And make sure you get out there and reflect your gratitude to somebody that's made a difference for you. I swear, the difference it makes for the other person, you will never know. And there's also something so gratifying about doing it for yourself. So make sure you get out there and do that in this next little bit here, okay? So do me a solid and give it a try. So until next time, this is Jen sending blessings, love, and light and supporting you on your path to purpose.